Guys, there is a huge, massive ticking time bomb, and it is confirmed by Zeekr's customer service. Apparently, you can only fast charge 200 times at peak charging speed, and after that, it's going to be lowered down, according to Zeekr's customer service. I'm not bullshitting you. Here it is. It says 200 times at 200 kilowatt speeds, and then from the 201st to the 500th charge, it's going to be limited down to 130 kilowatt speed. So all those superchargers with like 10 minutes to fully charge, well, you can only use it for a couple times until you can't use it anymore. And this is further confirmed by Zeekr upper management, saying that this is all done because there's battery degradation with that many charging cycles. So all those naysayers that say that fast charging is going to make battery swapping redundant, well, they gotta wake up, because you can fast charge for maybe 2 years. After that, it becomes slow charge. And what's really apparent is that since 2018, a lot of vehicles, a lot of older electric vehicles like this 2019 Ion S have turned into absolute junk metal because of battery degradation. The car is barely 5 years old, made in 2019, the end of 2019, barely 5 years old, and yet this car cannot hold a charge anymore, and the battery has to be sold for junk value, which is around 5,000 RMB or roughly $800. That's the price of the car right now. At about 1,200 charge cycles, this battery is no longer capable of holding a charge. And unfortunately, the battery itself, the raw materials itself, worth 5,000 RMB, $800, but the rest of the car is basically scrap metal, which is worth absolutely nothing. Basically, a ton of EVs built before 2019, are entering this mode, this state of just complete waste. They're worth nothing except the raw material of the battery. And this is going to become a huge problem going forward. And here we have a Model S, a 2016 Model S, which has gotten a lot of wear and tear on the battery, and it's just regular water damage because of long-term usage. And then you have to replace the battery, and the cost to replace the battery is around 180,000 RMB, which is roughly about 23,000 US dollars, around that price. Yeah, 24,000 US dollars. The car itself isn't even worth that much money, and there's no way in hell that anybody's gonna pay that amount of money for 2016 Model S. So it's just complete waste, and then you have to replace and repair and swap out this battery. But you can see how difficult the whole process is. You have to buy a new battery, and then you gotta take it off, and the whole process is very labor intensive. And what you're seeing in general is that the car outlasts the battery, right? Usually the car warranty is around 15 years. The battery warranty is only around 8 years. And you'll be stuck with this problem where you have a bad battery and you got to replace it, you got to swap it out. But the cost of it is just so astronomically expensive that it's better to just give up on this car, right? Either blow it up or like sell it for junk value and buy a new one instead of replacing the battery pack, which, I'll be honest, 180,000 RMB, that gets you like 2.5 BYD chins. That almost gets you a Bass ET5. Yeah, that's how expensive this battery pack costs. Now, luckily for this Tesla car in this video that you're watching, they were able to secure a battery pack, and they were able to go to a service store that was not a Tesla service store, because it's going to cost a lot more if they went to Tesla. And this is just basically a regular auto repair that specializes in electric vehicles, and they were able to do it in with a much lower cost than if it was just with Tesla's service. So fast charging is a hoax, because after a couple cycles you can no longer charge at those speeds anymore. You're restricted, and then also, it does great damage to your battery pack as well. And in the long term, your battery pack is going to go bad. And then once that happens, you'll be stuck with a massive repair bill that is just a big, massive conundrum. But with battery swap, of course, this no longer becomes a problem. Replacing these battery packs are a lot easier, and when handling problems such as degradation, it's a lot easier to solve. Instead of replacing the whole entire pack, you can replace individual modules that have degradation, prolonging the lifespan of the entire battery pack. So it's just also very eco-friendly as well, with the fact that if, for example, the battery pack isn't good enough, it can easily be just swapped out and easily recycled instead of requiring a couple-man team to get the battery out and fix the car. So you guys really got to understand that battery swap is an all-in-one solution. All right, not only do you get power quickly, and your speed won't decrease after like 200 swaps. There are NIO owners that have over 1,000 swaps, and these guys are still swapping in 3 minutes. All right, there's no difference in time with the life of the car. Also, of course, no battery degradation, ease of recycling the battery, and also, most importantly of all, energy storage, which Tesla is also trying to do. So Tesla's trying to do what NIO is doing, but Tesla's building so many different things to do what NIO is doing, whereas NIO just has one thing that does everything that Tesla does. The fact that fast charging is restricted after 200 times is a huge gut punch for a lot of naysayers. Here we have an Xpeng P7 that's driven 180,000 kilometers, and because of fast charging, the inverter is cooked inside the car, so it can no longer charge at faster speeds because of fast charging. So same problem that Zeekr is trying to avoid. All right, and as a result, they got to replace and fix the inverter, which is also a very expensive bill that they got to do. And so they look at the inverter system, and it's all cooked up because of heat from fast charging. So they got to all fix it up and make it restore it to normal, which is a huge headache. Now, the industry has already realized this problem. All right, a lot of the CEOs, etc., and that's why they're joining in on battery swap, because they realize the full benefits of battery swap. But customers, consumers have not realized this. They have to learn it the hard way, going through this hefty repair bill, being stuck with a bad battery, and then what you'll see is that gradually, with situations like these, like you can't even fast charge after 200 charges, like how stupid is that? They will learn that battery swap is the way to go. Okay, and it's going to be a tough lesson. It's going to take time, but eventually everybody's going to get that message. It's just like when the first gas stations came along and people were still riding horse chariots, thinking that horse chariots are easy to maintain and you just got to feed the horse, etc. Gasoline's quite stupid, but people will eventually wake up. Battery swap is the way to go.